Hey there, I hope you're doing great. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jim Munchback with BayRock Financial. I'm making this video for my clients, but if you happen to be watching it on YouTube or somewhere else, we're going to talk about risk. What I want to do is share a little bit about our process at BayRock for managing risk. If you're a client, you probably got an email from me with a link to this video and also an invitation to take our 5-minute survey. So again, this is for clients. I hope you'll forgive me. I'm putting together a 5 to 10 minute presentation plus Q&A for some investors who are prospective clients. So I'm using I don't usually do Keynote, but that's what I'm using. So forgive me, I'm playing around with Keynote. By the way, I'm going to give you a website, noriskinvesting.com. You should see that in the video, and there'll be a link in the email that I sent you if you got an email from me. But that's where you can go to download this presentation. If you want to just scan it, I'm going to put it there as a PDF. But anyway, the goal here, my goal, whenever I meet with a client or prospective client, is to make sure that we're on the same page about risk. And these days, today is, what is today? Today is January 19th, year of our Lord 2022. And with inflation, the market's been quite volatile. And at times like this, I generally get a lot of calls from folks who want to review their investment portfolio. And they're concerned about risk. They're concerned about losing money. So the way we do that at BayRock is different than it is anywhere I've ever worked. We've invested a tremendous amount of money in technology, and so I wanted to just kind of share how the process works. Usually everywhere I've worked, on Wall Street, Morgan Stanley, State Farm, wherever I've had a securities license for many, many years, and I've used lots of risk questionnaires, but none of them really worked very well because typically you've got, the moderate, conservative, aggressive, and that's the stereotypical way that these forms and the process usually works. So it doesn't really pinpoint your where you are in terms of your risk tolerance. So I want you to consider taking a 5-minute risk survey. If you're a client of mine, you probably did this before we onboarded you. But even if you did that, I want to encourage you to take the 5-minute survey again so that we can walk through this process so that I can help you have a much greater confidence level about investing this year in 2022. So instead of just figuring out if you're aggressive or moderate or conservative, I want to help you nail it down and pinpoint your risk number. So when you take the 5-minute survey, that will generate a good deal of information for me, but it will also help you see the number. And based on that, we'll have a meeting. I'll do some work on your portfolio to compare your risk number with the risk that you actually have in your portfolio. So when we meet, and we will meet after you do the 5-minute risk survey, you'll get a report. We'll use that report. I'll review that report with you and help you understand the risk that you have currently. We'll understand the risk that you have in your portfolio. But again, my goal is, according to my little PowerPoint presentation here, Keynote, I really do want to help you be a fearless investor, because I know from doing this for many, many years that if you're afraid of risk, if you don't take any risk, you're going to miss out on opportunities. So we want to manage the risk in your portfolio. But one of the best things I can do for you, whether you're a client or just a friend or a prospective client of BayRock, I can help you understand your risk tolerance and the risk that you have in your portfolio. And so that's what this is all about. So it starts with, how much risk do you actually want to have? What is your comfort level? That's where we start. And we take, again, a quantitative approach. This 5-minute survey looks it doesn't look all that sophisticated, but there's a tremendous amount of science in it. and it's very effective. So we find out how much risk you want, or how much risk are you comfortable with, and then we go to how much risk do you actually have in your portfolio. So if you're not a client, or if you are a client but you have other investments, we should look at all of those investments, put them all together to see how much risk you have in toto across all of your investments. If you're not a client, obviously I would need that information to give you the kind of helpful direction that I can give you based on this process. So we got to find out, what is your risk number and how does that align with your current investments? If you're a client, I can help you with all of that, but you got to take the risk survey. It's a 5-minute survey. And then, really part of the process is to figure out how much risk should you have. And so we'll figure that out. And part of the process is this report. It generates a really cool scenario section where you get to see what your portfolio would do in a specific scenario. So if we had the financial crisis happen again, what would happen to your portfolio? What would happen to the S&P 500? And if I happen to be giving you a proposal saying, here's what I think you should be invested in based on your risk tolerance, then this report will show you what the proposed portfolio would do in any of these scenarios. I think it's a very excellent piece of this puzzle, and it's all part of the process. So you'll get to see the what if scenarios, and that kind of helps you figure out how much risk you actually need. So we can do a quick snapshot to show you, based on your investments and your goals, when do you want to retire, and whatever other goals you may have. But retirement is always a big piece of the financial planning puzzle. So we really got to figure out how much risk do you really need to have to achieve your goals. And I can help you do that. The process is pretty simple, but it is a process. So you have to start with the quick 5-minute survey. Together, we really can take some of the guesswork out of your financial future, but we can take a good deal of guesswork out of the portfolio, out of your risk, in terms of how you're invested today, and that's really the key thing here. So if you have questions, you can email me, call me. All my contact information will be in the link below. If you're watching this on YouTube, again, go to noriskinvesting.com and you'll see this video along with a download of this presentation, and you'll be able to sign up, do the 5-minute survey. You'll also have information to be able to contact me, schedule an appointment to do the review, which is what comes after you doing the 5-minute survey. So hope that helps. Thanks for watching my video. And by the way, if you're a client of BayRock, if you already work with me, please feel free to share this with people that you know who may be concerned about the risk that they have in their portfolio. We're at a place at BayRock where I'd love to grow a little bit with people that I know or people that you know, whether it's a family member or friend, someone that you trust. I'd appreciate if you share our name. If you are not a client, go to noriskinvesting.com, learn more about the process, and I hope to meet with you soon. If you're a client and you are concerned about your risk, we need to have a meeting, but I need you to do the 5-minute survey. Just jump on noriskinvesting.com or click on the link that you got in the email from me and take that 5-minute survey. Once you've done that, we'll have fresh numbers, and we'll just basically do the same thing we did in the beginning. You may not have noticed, but it's basically the same process that I go through every time I have a new client, to do a good, thorough, thoughtful risk analysis of your current investments as we prepare to kind of put your portfolio into order based on the risk that you're comfortable with. So any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to spend as much time as necessary to help you feel comfortable with your risk and the risk that you have in your investments. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for sharing it, and hit the little like button if you're watching this on YouTube and all that stuff. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.